Hey, I'm here in Washington, D.C., where I got a chance to interview Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut. Now, this is the guy who did something crazy. He saw a problem and compromised with the Republicans to get shit done on an important issue that matters to Americans, gun safety. Check out our interview. Hope you enjoy it. I'm going to start out with a pretty tough one.
All right.
Why are there so few grown-ups in Washington?
Yeah, this place has really become a little bit dystopian in that there's a whole incentive structure now to be outrageous, to not cooperate. If you say outrageous things, you get more people clicking on your videos.
The government totally wants to provide surveillance on every part of your life. They want to know if you're eating a cheeseburger, which is very bad because Bill Gates wants you to eat his fake meat that grows in a Peachtree dish.
This is addictive.
What are we doing? The problem is when we cooperate, there's not as much of a market for that. And so, sometimes we'll pass really important, big, meaningful pieces of legislation, and they'll get almost no attention.
We can reach compromise on guns. We are doing something consequential.
Let's just talk about the bill itself. 21-year age limit got pulled out of the bill. This seems insane. What was the reason you think that couldn't get in the final package?
More than anything else, the gun industry cares about being able to continue to sell as many AR-15s and AR-15 variants as possible. So when we tried to raise the age to 21 for long guns, or at least for assault weapons, the gun industry drew a line in the sand, and we couldn't get enough Republicans to join us.
Greg Abbott said last week, he's using this as an excuse, the idea that he doesn't think that would pass the Supreme Court test, age limits on these guns. So what would be your response to that?
There's no sign that age limits on gun purchases is unconstitutional or will be judged to be unconstitutional. That's a red herring being used by Republicans in the industry to stop this legislation from being passed.
I have a left critique and a right critique
Yes.
for you really quick. My internet friend, Cameron Caskey, Parkland survivor and advocate, he said to you, Senator Murphy, that your Republican colleagues are going to lean on passing this bill for 30 years of inaction as dead bodies continue to pile up. What would be your response to that critique? That this was kind of a small ball thing that Republicans will use as an excuse to not go further.
I adore Cameron, but I respectfully think he's wrong. I don't think there's any evidence that great social change movements hang up their spikes after their first win. After the first small civil rights bill in the 1950s, the protesters didn't go home. No, they gained strength. So there's really no evidence in American history that settling for the first win means that you're also settling for the last.
On the right, I talked to editor of The Reload, and the question coming from the right is essentially, are there guns that you do believe that citizens should be able to continue to own? Is this just a slippery slope towards a full confiscation?
That's just not true. I believe the Second Amendment protects the right of private gun ownership, but there has always been a line, a weapon that we decide is the exclusive province of the military.
This weapon of iron and wood.
Keep that thing away from me.
Okay, here we go, rapid fire, really quick. You have to be on a desert island with another Republican in Congress. Who would you choose?
I would choose Tom Tillis, who I did the gun bill with. Super interesting,
Tom Tillis.
Super funny guy.
Best thing Biden administration has done besides the gun bill, biggest criticism or frustration with something?
Best thing he's done, pull our troops out of Afghanistan, gutsy decision. My biggest frustration, I'm a big critic of our Saudi Arabia policy. I think there are way too many dictators in the Middle East that we still are far too close to. I would like the Biden administration to be a little bit stronger when it comes to walking the walk on human rights, not just talking the talk.
Final thing, message to young voters watching this who feel like you're all corrupt, it's worthless, you don't get anything done. What would you say to them about how they can engage and why they should be more involved?
I just hope people see what we've done this summer. All of a sudden, the drug industry, the oil industry, the gun industry, all have power taken from them. Why? Because young people turned out in 2018 and 2020 and elected a whole bunch of leaders who are willing to take on these vested interests. We can do more of that if more young people show up.
Thank you so
much,
much,
guys.
man.
Appreciate
really appreciate it. That was Senator Chris Murphy. Hope you liked it. And we'll see you next week for more Not My Party. For more weekly episodes of Not My Party, smash that subscribe button.